I'm going to talk about my research paper, which is about experimental animation. And I guess everyone have seen many commercial animations before, like Frozen, Big Hero, How to Train Your Dragon, Zootopia, and so on. And in these featured films, they have main characters, and most importantly, their narrative. For example, in Zootopia, Judy and Nick, they work together to reveal a conspiracy and show the whole city that a rabbit can be a good police officer and a fox isn't a fierce animal. And in How to Train Your Dragon, Hiccup helps Toothless his dragon to fly again, and they destroy the dragon nest at last. So you see, in these animations, they have complete stories. But in experimental animations, most of these kind of animations, they are non-narrative, which means that there are no stories and main characters in it. So sometimes it's hard for audience to understand what is going on in the animation and what idea the animator wanted to convey. For example, in some experimental animations, there are just some deformation of shapes and lines, and optical point. This experimental animation is in this animation there are just shapes, and these shapes these shapes move in clusters, like they are dancing and gathering, and they move follow the music. So there are no story and no character in it. But from the title, an optical point, I guess that maybe the animator he just wanted to explore how to combine the music and those shapes. Maybe he just want to presenting the rhythm of this music in the form of visual, because people cannot see the rhythm. And another feature of experimental animation is that animators did this animation to explore new technology and new method of making animation. For example, in this animation, which is called Candy, there are just brilliant colors in this animation. At the beginning of this animation, there is a candy in the center of the frame, and then it blows up. After that, following the noisy background music, the colors are changing very quickly. So I guess it may be just a practice of changing colors, but after seeing a very short description from the animator, I got to know that he wanted to use these brilliant colors to present the taste of that candy, which is sweet and sour. So if I didn't read that description from the animator, I can't understand what he did in this animation. So sometimes audience can't understand this kind of experimental animation. It's because animators just did some experiment in it. They didn't tell story in it. In some experimental animations, animators involved their experiences and emotions in it, and I think it's not easy for the audience who doesn't have same experience with them. They will not understand the animation. This animation is called Look See. This one is the main character in this animation. And it looks like that he enters to another world, and he is divided into pieces. I read an article read by this animator. He says that he has spent 2 days in a hotel when he was doing this animation, and in that hotel he felt trapped in it. So this experience inspired him, and that's why the main character in his animation is trapped in this rectangle, and it divided into pieces. So if audience doesn't have the same experience with him, so they will not understand it. And I also did experimental animation last semester, which is called the Frog Chorus. In this animation, it's non-narrative, and I just explored how to explore the relationship between motion and rhythm. Also, I explored how to combine watercolor techniques and digital painting techniques together to make graphics. So sometimes experimental animations are very difficult to understand, but what the animators did and what they explored are contributory to the whole animation industry. Their work inspired other animators, gave them new ways to make animation, and for me, what I did in my experimental animation, it helps me to combine the music and the motions well, so it really helps me a lot. That's all.
Okay,